Good afternoon, folks. I'm here with another video. Now, today's video is not anything special. It's just like I want to talk with some people because I notice when I watch the TV and videos on YouTube, so many people living abroad are having a difficult time in life. I don't know what the problem is. Some are not in there, living there long enough to really reach to the point where they want to reach. Because, for example, I was watching a video the other day where a young lady was only about 40 years old and she lived in the States for about 11 years. Now, folks, based on my experience of living in Canada for over 50 years, 11 years is not long enough to get settled and to know your way around and to build up a life that you are able to be successful and to be able to even think of going back to Jamaica to live. It takes much longer than that to get settled in a new country because there's so much to learn and there's so much procedures and all kind of things that you have to go through in order to get settled. Now, the first thing is that finding a job. Finding a job, you have to be careful in what area you're living because some areas are for retirees. For example, the suburbs, as they call them, in the country areas. In Canada, for example, many older folks who have already retired, they live in the suburbs because they have no desire to go look for work and to do any second jobs or third jobs or whatever. So they're settled in the suburbs where it's quiet and it's not busy. You have recreations that they can go to, and that's about it. Some of them uh, shopping malls and so are a little distance away, but because they don't have to go every day, they don't mind. They will go to these places whenever they feel like going. It's like a special trip. So a person coming to Canada or coming to America for the first time to settle, they have to be very careful in what area they decide to settle in. Because if they're coming have work on their minds and they're coming to build a life and to work, the suburbs is not for you. The country is not for you. The country is for people that are even doing their own private business, self-employed, already work with the government and have a job settled for life. But for a newcomer to that country, that person has to settle in an area where jobs are available. They can find a job as easy, restaurants, lots of business, schools, and all kind of stuff. Hospitals, for example, in areas where you have a retirement homes. So many retirement homes sometimes is in one area. And if you're living in that area, you can go east, west, north, south, and in between, and you will always find a retirement home, a nursing home or a retirement home, you see. So these are areas where you can get jobs, and you can always pick up a little part-time, sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever your desire is, you can make your own timing. And that will help you with your regular job. And I want to say to folks that some of these retirement homes, they have a resident that needs help for feeding. They call that companionship. So you can even sign up with a work agency, and they will give you the position of going into these retirement homes and feed these residents. I guess their family pays for this extra care. So those little jobs are really handy and they paid very well. So you can always do that. You don't have to do 8 hours. You can do a 3 hour shift, going into a retirement, going into a nursing home. Retirement homes have that too because it's not only for retirees, but it's also for long-term care. They have extra beds for long-term care as well. And the thing is they want to fill up their beds. So they're not only limited to retirees or able-bodied people, but also the long-term care resident also can be in a retirement home. So the reason why I know folks is because I've worked both in a retirement home and both in a nursing home. So I can understand how they manage these places. Yes, folks. So you can't be a newcomer to a country and decide to live into the country, and it's cold and you have to work to build your life. You may have a one job, but that's not enough. You should be able to, if you decide to work, you should be able to pick up a little 3 hour shift here or a 4 hour shift there whenever it's needed. So, folks, you have to be careful when you travel abroad to live abroad, what area of that country you decide to live, you see. So that's part of the problem why people are complaining because they choose the wrong areas to live where they're not flexible, you know. They're not flexible to do a little part-time job. And not only that, it is so cold in the suburbs, even in the summertime. Even in the summertime, folks, when you go out in the country, you have to have a little jacket or a little sweater on. It's so damp and cold. So a newcomer coming from a hot country, it's gonna take a toll on the body because they're not adjusted to that kind of a temperature, and it's gonna affect their body, what they call it, arthritis, or whatever they call it, all kind of aches and pains for a young person, because the body cannot take the cold. All here through wintertime, you have it very cold, very, very cold. And when it comes to the spring, it's still a little dampy. Comes summer again, it's nice, but it's still a little cold, chilly for that body to get adjusted to. So, folks, this is some of the reasons why sometimes people travel abroad and live abroad find it difficult to make adjustment because of where they decide to settle, because of this decision that they make, you see. So, another part of it again is that supermarkets. The supermarkets in the suburbs, there are probably hardly any supermarkets or big shopping malls. So you have to go a little further. Now, for a single person living in the suburbs or in the country, if you don't have a vehicle, it's going to be very difficult for you to go shopping and to select and make choices of the different shopping areas that you want to go to. There's so many choices when you live at a place where you can go to so many different shopping supermarkets. You can pick and choose where you want to go, and you go where the price is reasonable. So that's part of probably why they're having it so difficult because they're in a place where it's not possible to really be able to manage. You see, others that live their life and work their life, yes, they wanna relax, so they choose the suburbs and the country areas to live in. But for a newcomer, you want to start out, you can't. It's not possible to be able to reach anywhere living in the country and living in the suburbs. You have to rely on a bus to take you here and to take you there. When the people are doing a little part-time job, they need their own transportation so they can get up and go anytime they want and come and go and to these jobs, you see? So, as travelers living in the world, we have to be very selective of the areas we choose to live. And even if we choose to live in that area, we sometimes have to make sure that at least we know one person. We know one person that living in the area. You don't live there by yourself. You have no one to turn to, no one to talk with, and you're just living like you're an island. You see. So I believe this is part of the problem with foreigners that come and want to live abroad. Travelers who decide to come to different countries to live. For example, like Canada or the United States. These countries are so large. This province are so wide or far away from each other. So it's very large. So if you get lost in one of those places and you don't have nobody to talk with, it's gonna be very difficult. So these are the things that I want to share with you guys, and I'm wondering with all the information online, so much information about all kind of things, and people don't seem to bother to check all these information and try to learn something from that. So I don't have much to say about anything more, but I just want to wish these ones who are having difficulty at abroad to try and connect with people of your own race and of your own background so that you can at least have someone to talk with or to share your difficulties with. So I hope this is a blessing to you today, and I hope that you'll try and make some adjustment to make your life a little better. And just to give yourself some patience because 11, 10 years, 12 years is not long enough for anyone to get settled abroad. It's not the same as if in the Caribbean when you live. People are nearby and you can talk with them easily. Foreigners are a little different because foreigners, like, it's multicultural. Multicultural people, they have different culture, come from different cultures. You have the Italians, you have the Egyptians, you have the Indians, you have the so many, so many of them. So they're all different. They usually just stick to their own people. Not like us Jamaicans who are very friendly and no matter where the people come from, we're ready to be their friends. It's not the same. It's not the same with other cultures. They keep their distance because they don't know us. They're afraid of the unknown. So we can't expect that they're gonna be our friends overnight. They probably will, but it'll take time for them to get adjusted and to get to know us. So people don't give up and don't feel any way when these people are keep a little distance to themselves because with all that is going on, you can't blame them. But it takes time to get to know people and to get to learn about the different cultures. So I hope you'll think about this and take it easy. And don't beat up yourself and saying that, oh, you're in the country and the country let you live in this way. The country cannot let somebody live whatever way they're living. You got to watch your budget, do what you can manage to live how you can afford to, and he'll make your life a little bit much easier, folks. Don't hang your basket where you cannot reach it. You see, make a budget and just go by that and do what you can, where your salary can take you. You do that. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. And I hope my encouragement today will be of some use to somebody. I hope someone will pick the sense out of the nonsense. It may seem like it's nonsense, but folks, it's not. I live abroad in Canada here for over 50 years and I've learned. And I don't keep to myself. I talk with everybody. I go to work. Get friends there and I can learn from them. I ask questions because I'm an inquisitive person. And an inquisitive person always want to know. So I usually ask questions of things that I don't know and I don't understand. And people will explain to me or even give me information, written information, name and address and places where I can go for whatever I'm seeking. So, when you say friends and be friendly, we don't have to bring them in our homes. We can have a talk with them, connect with them, and talk on the phone and share information and socialize, you know, and that's a big help. That's a real big help. So, folks, remember to consider these things and you learn as you go, and you'll be surprised how much you'll manage living abroad. It's not easy, it takes work. Like every other relationship, living abroad takes work, and you have to take time to get to know people, get to know your neighbors. Have a wonderful day, stay blessed. Until I hear you again, thank you very much for listening. Bye bye now.